There's so much pleasure on the other side of the feeling that we're resisting.
Yeah.
Because the resistance is the pain. Because at the core of our psyche is the eternal I am. We tend to think that if I let myself feel the sadness, I'm going to be sad forever. Or if I let myself get angry, I'm just going to be angry for eternity. If we give into our feelings, it will take over forever. We can fall into this illusion of, I'm here forever. We just need to know that the only constant is change. This moment is for sure going to end, and it'll never happen again.
He's like, what you do requires you to be courageous every day. He's like, you have a level of courage that I've never seen in anyone around me. Like, to hear my dad say this, it's like the cells of my body reorganize. Like, I am courage versus like, I am scared.
Surrender is healing. Surrender leads to healing. There was you being with the emotion, and you allowed that emotion to be there. But you weren't the emotion. You were the one comforting the self through the emotion.
Welcome to another episode of the Embracing Human podcast. I am your host, Scott Stone, and I'm here with a very special guest today, Kristen Klausner, an astrologer who I've met on Maui, and just had a draw to you ever since I met you. And I'm very excited to have you on the show, just to pick your brain, spread your wisdom, and share your energy with the world.
Excited to be here. I got a lot to share.
Amazing.
I'm a Leo, so my favorite thing to do.
Double Leo. Okay, all right.
Yeah. Leo, sun and moon.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, I wanted to have, and I've been waiting, this is so well timed. I've been wanting to have an astrologer on the podcast and just discuss the planets. You know, Mercury retrograde is like such a hot thing now. I feel like so many Time magazines dropping articles about it, and it's like, wait, what? So they're like teasing in the fact that, you know, the planets matter, and yet no real good information about it. And so I'm so stoked to have you on to help the listenership kind of understand where to begin and where to go deeper.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we all feel the sun. We feel its effect on our lives. We feel the moon, even a little more subtly, but when the moon's full, crime rates go up. Maybe your thoughts get a little louder. Imagination gets more vivid. Why wouldn't we feel Mercury? You know, when Mercury changes direction in the sky, why wouldn't we feel these other bright lights like Venus and Mars and Jupiter, which is a huge light, when they do their movements? And that's sort of the logic that follows is, okay, the sun is so central in its importance to our reality. If we didn't have the sun, we couldn't see each other. We couldn't see anything. There would be no reality. So the sun is projecting reality as light, which we then see through our eyes, right? The moon's reflecting that. So as a kid, I always looked up at the moon and I always wondered, what does the moon mean? That was always my question as a kid. And I thought that question didn't make any sense, you know? Like I tried to think like the adults, like, oh, the moon doesn't mean anything. It's just there, you know? But I still always had this question burning inside. Why did God put the moon there? What does it mean for us? And so astrology is the language of the meaning of what's in the heavens and what it means for us. And so the sun, you know, is the core, it's the center, and it's the identity of our world. And so that's the main thing there, is that all these things in the heavens, they reflect an inner quality inside of our own psyche. So as above, so below.
It's literally a tattoo right here.
Yeah, oh yeah, in Sanskrit?
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
look at that. Yeah.
Synchronicities abound, right? Yeah. And I love that. And, you know, maybe just for proper housekeeping for those maybe getting started on this, could you distinguish, you know, a lot of people now, there's so many funny memes on Instagram where it's like, if you meet a girl and she's like, hey, what's your birth time? You're like, you know, like, okay, you know, but for people using that information to help them get what is commonly referred to as their natal chart, and then specifically like their big three, right? Your sun, your moon, and your rising. Could you give us an explanation on what those are and the importance of understanding them?
Yeah. So let me go all the way
Great.
to the center.
Great.
So everything in this reality is identity. Everything is identity. Everything you have or don't have is connected to your identity. of what you believe you can have or can't have. And that level of responsibility is amazing. It's amazing to look at your life and go, okay, the state of things is because of who I identify as. I am this person. But literally at the center of our psyche, the only thing we know, the only thing we can know, like if we just sit here and if we just ask, what is the truth? What is the nature of God, of this reality? All we know for sure is I am.
I am.
Yeah.
Right. So,
That's why God said, my name is, I am. I am that I am. So he is that I am that's at the center. And everything proceeds from there. So from there you go, I am a boy, I am a girl, I am happy, I am sad, I am tired, I am full of energy, whatever it is that you're adding after the I am, it's a reflection. So that's what the moon rules, is how we reflect that I am. The sun is the I am. That's why if you're a Scorpio, you say, I am a Scorpio, because that's your sun sign. The sun literally rules our I amness. So your I am shines out on your life, and you see what you see based on that, and then you reflect on that. So the light of consciousness shines into your life, and where that consciousness is coming from is your I am. And then what you reflect on, that's the mind. So in Vedic astrology, the moon rules the mind. In Western, we say, oh, the moon rules emotions, but really mind, body, emotions, those are all kind of one thing.
right.
So there's the philosophy there. And this is ancient psychology as well. And it's beginning to be integrated with the modern world as we understand, how our psyche works and how everything branches out from the I am. So at our core is God. And when we align with a truth, with a lie, so you say, I am a loser, that feels like crap because it's not true.
Right.
It's basically God indicating to you, wrong, I'm not crap. Because what you're saying is God is crap.
Right.
So don't take the name of God in vain.
Right.
Means don't put
Right.
anything after I am that is not true. And we know immediately through our feeling if it's true or not. Neville Goddard, the great prophet of the 50s, he gave all these sermons on how to manifest. And manifestation is like at the core of all this, because us manifesting our best life is us reaching into the true, authentic expression of us,
Yeah.
So the true you has everything you want, feels the best, is the healthiest. The false you, the ego, the mask, is the one that believes I can't do it. It's not for me. So that's kind of the amazing philosophy and the spirit behind astrology that I feel God has sent me to sort of reestablish here. It's not about, I'm Sag, so I have to bounce, I have to leave, I can't stay. It's like maybe there's deeper things going on there. Maybe you're using that as a crutch, just like you use other things that you put after I am. So I think astrology is going to expose how we're misqualifying our I am energy. But to come back to your question, that's the sun. The sun is your I am. So in the chart, it represents identity, power, and who you are as the main character in your life. The moon represents how you reflect that. So with reflection comes insecurity. And with insecurity comes the need for security, which we all have. So the moon kind of represents our more human aspect. It's the part of us that's needy. And we all have that. So because the moon's full and then it's empty. And then this is the part of us that is full and then it's empty. And then when we're full, we want to be empty. And when we're empty, we want to be full. So it's always changing, always adapting, and is kind of annoying and fickle. And that's the really human part of us. That's why the moon is closest to the earth. It's like the part that's closest to home. So that's your moon. And then your rising sign is your exterior. And some would say it's the part of you that you're rising into, or that you're developing. So at its base, I think of it as the outermost layer to your aura. It's the part of you that touches others first. When you walk into a room, people feel your rising sign first. And then they're probably going to feel your sun sign, that energy that radiates off you, the warmth from your heart. And then as they get to know you, they'll feel your moon. And the moon is that part that really depends on our psychological development.
Mm-hmm.
If you're, a little, I guess, underdeveloped, or, you're hiding a little more, you're going to be able to conceal that part of you that's most vulnerable. You're not going to share the things you care about the most. Because if I share what I care about the most, it could get shat on by the world.
Right.
And so it like, this is my vulnerability here. This is me sharing the things I'm passionate about, the things I care about. And I realize that I can get laughed at or made fun of for that, or that the thing I care about the most, here it is. And then you just, you can do whatever you want with it. So
Right.
It takes a lot of working on ourselves to be able to let our moon, or the part of us that, is most caring or most vulnerable, to be seen. But as we do that, that's what can cause us to reach fulfillment, because our moon, or your soul, is reflecting that light of consciousness. If you can align those, you can magnify that light. Sorry for how much I'm hitting this microphone here. And you can magnify the light of your heart through soul. That's why we love soul music. We love things with feeling. You only remember, or like a movie that made you feel something.
Right.
If there's no feeling, there's no memory. And mem is water. Ori is light. Water, light. The light that hits the waters of your soul is what's
Never heard that.
that's what's remembered.
I like that.
And so that sticks to us. So we remember that. So it's very important, because in modern spirituality, it's all about, observe, detach. And that's true. But that you can use that as an escape
Totally.
to just not feel.
Right.
And so we got to remember, like, we're supposed to be human.
That's the original name of this podcast was the To Be Human podcast.
Yeah.
Because the idea is like, oh, you're a 5D spiritual light being, starseed Pleiadian being. Great, you came here to be fucking human.
Yeah, exactly.
So how
Come back
about
down to earth?
yeah, like when
where we
when you're done with that, like let me know and we can eat lunch, And
are. Yeah, exactly.
no, I love what you said there, Christian, about like to go back to where you started was like the framework of this whole thing is identity. I speak a lot on this coaching and transformation work, as that I am Scorpio, right? Like the transformationalist. And so so many people are like, oh, I want to change my life. I'm going to quit my job, or I'm going to move, or I'm going to change my relationship. All great things. And the way I explain it is like, if you change in the level of environment, you're a victim to reality. The next level is habits, which, it's like, oh, I'm going to start meditating. Great. But once you start meditating, you're only as good as your habits. Then you've got skills. Then we really can start to actually make a big, substantial change is belief systems. But then above that is identity. Or your beliefs belong to your identity. And if I am a loser, I can change my beliefs. But if I that is who I am for myself, there's still a cap. Right.
Yeah.
And so to go back to the foundational work of who am I for myself as a declarative statement in the world.
Yes.
Right? I am what, right? And like you said, the game is to notice the spells that we cast, and then to ask our somatic body, how do I feel about this? Does it feel light? Does it feel free and expansive, or does it feel constrictive and icky? And it's one of my favorite things that another friend of mine who will be on the podcast here soon enough is a human design coach. And he was talking about, as a generator, the sacral is like this, or And I'm like, oh, that's like such a guttural, animalistic barometer for my feeling. And I just love, how you not only tied it into identity, but also the aspect of the way in which you bring God into the conversation. Because I think a lot of people think of astrology as witchcraft or anti-theology, anti-God. And I'm like, oh no, I love God, and it took me a long time. I was raised Catholic, walked away from that, and then have since come back and repaired my relationship to it, her, whatever you want to call it. I say the thing that grows the trees and beats my heart,
That's what I say, yeah.
Yeah, like the other thing I say is like, I don't care if you call it Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, Allah, spaghetti monster. If you don't believe there's something bigger than you, good luck. Yeah. That's too much responsibility to carry.
Yeah.
And then to understand this co-creative force of like, okay, I use my word to create my reality, and then I give it to something larger than me to help me manifest that, and that's why I love things like astrology as a framework to play inside of like, okay, if I'm 70% water and the moon brings the tide and also a woman's cycle, And Jupiter and Saturn are how big? Yeah, oh, they're far away, but they're how big? And they never leave our orbit?
Right.
That's not random.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
and, you know, like we were mentioning before we hit record, which just for my own sake, I'm like, we should hit record like 20 minutes before we started this.
Yeah.
That quote, right? I think he's attributed to JP Morgan is like, millionaires don't have astrologers, billionaires do.
Yep.
You know, like,
Mm-hmm.
and then to notice who said that, right? Like JP Morgan, and fact checkers if you want, but I'm sure it was someone very powerful.
Oh, yeah, it was one of the billionaires.
Yeah, you know, it's like that is not random,
Nope.
you know? And yeah, so just to dig a little bit deeper, right? To, you know, so a lot of people now, you know, astro.com, Cafe Astrology, CoStar, the pattern, all this, they're finding their natal charts and they're understanding like, okay, you know, my Mercury's in Scorpio, which it's one of my like questions for people, like, is your sun sign the same as your Mercury? Because now I know you're talking like you're showing up. Like,
Yeah.
and you know, these little things, and maybe talk a little bit about the other planets or the houses. You know, I've always found both of those things very fascinating and not well discussed.
Yeah, absolutely.
And on the note of whether you want to talk planets or houses, actually I'm going to ask you a question first, because I have a friend who's an astrologer and she's like, I will never tell anyone my chart. And I'm like, she's like, they can control you. And I was like,
Oh, yeah.
and so like, what's your take on blasting your chart out into the world?
Yeah.
Or my chart out into the world, I should say.
I'm an open book. I've blasted my chart out several times. You
Okay.
can look up any celebrity's chart.
Right.
Tons of people's charts are out there.
Right. Okay, cool.
Are they being controlled?
Well, so, well, who knows?
Oh, well, yeah.
And so in this case, if you want to use my chart to talk about houses or planets, open source.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, to touch back a little bit on what we were saying, astrology is so powerful because it's revealing to us how the video game works. Like, if you want to get really good at a video game, you got to understand how that game works, what the mechanics are, the physics, the controls. And astrology is at the root of every single religion and every single mythology. Astrology is at the root of every story that we've ever told in every religion, every myth. And it's always at the root of every culture that comes to flower, because astrology is helping us learn how this game works. It's the study of reality and how it's comprised. And it comes back to the self. It helps you understand yourself, because you are the video game.
Right.
And as you understand yourself, you understand the universe and how it works. So astrology used to be required learning in schools, believe it or not.
Wow.
Especially when we had very enlightened societies. It became the Dark Ages when we banned astrology. So something to think about there. So we just got to reclaim this and be grateful that it survived the Dark Ages, because you can't kill truth. Truth is the thing that is indestructible and eternal. We know that through the I Am.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that's true for sure.
Right.
You can't get away from that. It's closer to you than your own breath. So that's the cool thing. Truth always wins, and that's why it's good to align with truth, no matter how scary it might be to speak it,
Right.
because that's the thing that will cause you to really survive. So if you study the solar system, the way that the planets are aligned, there's a ton of insight that you get from that. So, and then the zodiac kind of reveals the relationships of the planets to each other. So we have the sun and moon, and those rule Leo and Cancer. And those are the lights, the rulers of day and night. Those are the main forces there, which is sun, identity, and then moon, emotions, mind, all that. And then so opposite those signs are Aquarius and Capricorn, which are ruled by Saturn. So Saturn is form, it's limitation, it's structure. So on the one hand, we have life and essence, and then on the other hand, we have form. And so this is the first kind of real opposition that we see through astrology, and that we see in life too. We have this life, and then we have the limit, the form. You might want to fly, but you have this physical body, you have gravity. So, but they actually complement each other. And when we learn how to work through these, we reach an amazing breakthrough in our minds of seeing that every limitation is serving us, and every form brings expression to the life within. So, but when we go through, so we got to know that like Saturn is the devil, Saturn is Satan, and yeah, by itself, I mean, just focusing only on form is death. It is enslavement. But the form is meant to serve the spirit within. So that's another amazing thing about astrology. It teaches us the complementary relationships of all dualities and their proper place. Everything has to be in its proper place. So, but your Mercury, so here's the way to think of the chart. It's a perfect representation of how a person behaves and acts. And we have free choice. So we can choose like how we express the energies in our chart, but still at its foundation, it's really revealing that person's unique personality. So me, I'm a sun, moon, and in Leo. Also, my Mercury is in Leo. So yes, I'm somebody who acts like this. This is somebody who has their moon, Mercury, and Leo all in the same sign.
Yeah.
That's me. And as you get to know me, maybe you'll get to know how to pick out somebody else who also has their Mercury in their sun sign or their moon in the same sign. Because the first thing I'm a student of is people. I love people. I love observing people and getting to know people. I think it's a miracle that we have 7 billion of us, maybe 8 now, and we're all unique. How does that ever happen? That's a miracle.
Yes.
So the chart shows that because everyone has a unique chart.
Yeah.
There's no repeat charts, not for hundreds of thousands of years.
Easily. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's the chart. So you want to look at the unique structure of the chart and go, oh, okay, this is kind of reflecting that unique human being.
Right.
And Dane Rudhyar, a brilliant man, he was like a mathematician, a composer, astrologer. He said that our birth chart is like a set of instructions given to us by God, an instruction manual on how to, like a blueprint on how to live most authentically. So that's pretty cool. And so if you study it from that angle, like, oh, okay, this person has Mercury ahead of the sun. This person has Mercury behind the sun. You start seeing different stats. It's like I love the video game analogy because I was a gamer.
It's like Oblivion
in my life. Yeah. Everyone's born with a particular set of stats.
Yep.
Maybe their strength is high and intellect is low. Maybe the charisma is high and health is low, right? And so your chart kind of shows that. It shows your stats that you come with. And then you can build whatever stats you want. But we all have base layer stats. So for an example, if Mercury is ahead of the sun, if you have Mercury in the sign ahead of your sun sign, I've noticed that these people have the motor mouth quality. It's like my dad. It's like a lot of people that I know, they can just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk without ever needing to stop. And I don't have that. It might seem like I have that, but it's because I'm on a podcast and talking about something that I love.
Yeah.
If there's no purpose to what I'm talking about, I'm quiet. I'll talk all day for my job. When I'm at home, nothing's coming out of my mouth. I'm quiet.
Right.
So because I have Mercury behind the sun. Is that strictly why? No, but it's an indication in the chart, like, oh, this is how he is.
Right.
If you were born with Mercury retrograde, maybe, in most cases, that's a child that wasn't encouraged to use their voice. They were told more that, children are to be seen and not heard. They were told how to think. And this caused them to go within to find how they really think and how to configure their own way of speaking. And so if you know that, then you can go, oh, okay, I'm not broken. This is a part of my path and my soul's learning. So that's one cool thing about the planets. And it gets pretty deep because then we can add another layer to that. Where's your Venus? Is your Venus in the sign ahead or the same sign or the sign before your sun? But it's really not complicated because there's only 10 planets. So the layers finish and there's only 12 signs. So it's a really easy alphabet. And then your intuition knows how to put it together because this knowledge is inside of you.
Correct.
All the planets above in the heavens are inside you. As different qualities. So Mercury is your analytical faculty. Venus is the part of you that loves and wants to harmonize. Mars is the part of you that wants to go out and go forward. So like Mercury is the perception of details. Venus is your perception of body language and how somebody's receiving you or not receiving you. It's your social sense. You know, like psychopaths, maybe there's something going on with their Venus where they're using that, you know, not fully to create connection, but to create connection for a purpose to gratify. Maybe they're Mars, and Mars is more closely associated to ego and drive and the will to get what you want.
Yeah.
That's why Mars is the god of war. You know, war is basically we're going to force our way to get what we want.
Yeah.
So Mars is that part of us that utilizes force. Jupiter is the part of us that wants to expand and grow. If that's out of control, then obviously we could have overexpansion, which is a bad thing. Whether that's weight gain or accumulation of resources at any cost or whatever, you know. And then Saturn is the instinct to contract. So all these come into play. Then we have the outer planets, which we can't see with the naked eye, which are a little more subtle. Uranus is the instinct to break free from all limitation. Neptune is the instinct to dissolve all boundaries. So on a psychological level, you might see a limitation. Uranus is the instinct to find a way to innovate and break through that limitation or a limiting belief. Neptune is the instinct to dissolve that entirely, forgive it, reintegrate it, and then reimagine a new boundary or limitation. And then Pluto is the thing that causes complete metamorphosis, like from caterpillar to butterfly. It's the Lord of Death, Hades, and it's where we really fully sacrifice our old self and become an entirely new self. So that's not even self anymore. It's like an old skin. And so yeah, all these things play out internally, psychologically, and externally. Like we see force in the world. We see Mars. You see force inside your own self too. You know, so it's cool to see how everything we see externally does have an internal seed.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's when I started learning about this, I was right on the not the tail end, but the beginning of my Saturn return. Like I moved, so I used to work in corporate America, and I quit my job. I sold everything. I moved across the country. I moved to Dayton, Ohio. And like, I didn't know Dayton, Ohio from any city in the country, but like Edgar Casey, famous mystic, was like, Dayton, Ohio is like an epicenter like an energetic hub of the universe.
He said that?
Yeah. And 5 rivers meet downtown. It's where Wright-Patterson Air Force Base was at. Like the invention of George Washington Carver lived in Dayton, Ohio. Like just crazy amount of inventions. Kettering, all these things came out of there. And I instantly found astrology. I started meeting all these hippies. Like all my friends were entrepreneurs, and all of them were into astrology. And I, at first, like I told you earlier, like I grew up Catholic and engineering dad. Like it was like, wait, you guys all believe this? Like you're fucking joking, right? And then one of my like close friends really looked up to him. He's like, bro, go get a session. And so I did. I was like, whatever. It's like $150. And I sat down with this woman, and she told me things about myself that I was like upset. Like as a Scorpio, I was just like, how dare you know these secrets about me? She told me how I made love. Like she told me like a lot of weird things. And I was just like, this is fucking weird, you know? And then I was just like, I was hooked. It's like, okay, I want to know more. I want to know more. I want to know more. And then now, like, as you say, the qualities of these planets and the signs and whatnot, I'm like, okay, Mars in Libra, Venus in Sag, you know, like just all these different things that I'm like, okay, like, fuck, you know, and to, yeah, to,
You have Mars in Libra?
Yeah. It's an interesting one because I'm like, okay, like I want to do something, and it's like balance. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what does that mean? But at a very core level, it feels so good to create in a way where like I have harmony in my life. I can do this. It's Monday morning, you know. Old Scott would be like, no, bro, like we're going to slam this in. There's going to be another one right behind it, and it's not going to feel good. And it's like, ugh, you know, like I don't like that feeling anymore. And so
Yeah.
That's been a big part of my life, is creating harmony. Not even balance per se, because I think balance has a misconstruement of like what something has to give. And it's like, no, I flow with this thing now, and to create in a way where that's been a really hard letting go for me, because I was one of force, and Saturn was like, no, bro, this is not how we're going to do this, And my Saturn return, I think, what house is it in? Home and family is at fourth.
Yeah.
I think.
Home and family. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was the house of my Saturn return. And that thing leveled me. Like and it was all around my family. It was all around not feeling part of my family, and how much I constructed that. Came in with it as a child. My brother bullied me a lot. My parents weren't really present for my needs. And so I created the narrative of like, I don't belong here, and it took me 30 plus years to like really dismantle that and heal, and now have a beautiful relationship with my family. And that doesn't mean it's perfect. It means it works. And the workability is in my favor now.
Yeah.
And that Saturn return, man, I got kicked in the teeth. It was, and if someone would have told me 20 years ago, like, okay, at 29 or in the window of 28 to 32, you are going to get pummeled.
Yeah.
I would be like, okay, whatever, but now I talk to people and they're like, oh yeah, like when I was 20, when my dad was 29, his dad died and my brother died. I was like, that was your Saturn return, bro?
Jeez.
Same month. Gosh. Month before his 30th birthday, or after month before his 29th birthday. I was just like, oh my God, bro. How was that? And yeah, the returns and the retrogrades, again, that like I was saying before we started, that's the thing that I don't even know if I would say barely understand. But, even when someone says like, okay, Mercury is moving backwards through the sky now, it's like, okay, what does that even mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
We talk about it a lot, but, maybe, Mercury retrograde started yesterday? I think
Yep.
I saw your video. I was jumping on your live.
Oh, yeah.
And, just, this will probably drop either this or next week. So we'll still be in the retrograde. And so maybe the theme of this one and what people can expect, but also just on a grander scale, because these things live well beyond this transit.
Yep. Well, a great way to think of it is breath. Everything has a rhythm, and in and out. Mercury retrograde is one of these rhythms. If you even look at, there's this cool app you can get. It's called Time Nomad, and I love this app. And it's for Apple, but you can scroll through time, and you can see how the planets move through the chart. Mercury is literally like a pendulum. It goes ahead of the sun, behind the sun, ahead of the sun, behind the sun. And it's so beautiful. And so it's a natural rhythm where in life we go ahead, we analyze new things, and then there's this period of life where we have to kind of go back, review what we've just gone into and analyzed. That's a Mercury retrograde. And so people born with Mercury retrograde have an easier time with this.
Interesting.
Their whole life story is about going inward.
Wow.
And so a retrograde planet, a good rule is it's just an inward sort of energy. We also have Jupiter that just turned retrograde today. And so
Great.
so we have about 3 months until March 11th, I think, of going inward with expansion.
Right.
So less doors are going to be opening externally is one way to kind of generalize this experience, which allows us to really find out what doors do we want to move through. So everything's rhythm, everything has an out breath and then an in breath. And another reason I love astrology so much is because it's God's timing. We made this clock happen.
Totally.
But we still had to align it with, where daytime is and where nighttime is.
Right.
Like we're still subservient to the heavenly rulers.
Right.
But this cycle of time reflects what time it is, but also what time it is for the individual. So all the Saturn returns in our charts, all the returns, those are lined up with actual biological rhythms, which are also tied to soul rhythms as well. And Rudolf Steiner talks a lot about this. Teachers at Waldorf understand this more than the average individual because as like a child develops, there's different layers to their soul incarnating into that body. And so the way you teach them needs to change and evolve with that. Like they believe like, don't do typical textbook teaching to a child until they're a certain age. I'm not sure of the age, but up until a certain age, probably 7.
Yeah.
They learn through singing and dancing and playing and myth and storytelling. And then they can get a little more like after age 7, that's called the age of reason, because that's where now a child can go, they can logically reflect. So that 7 is tied to the rhythms of the planets. Saturn being just one of them. So 7 is a quarter cycle of Saturn.
Right.
Another 7 is 14. At 14, that's the age where puberty hits. It's a big time in our lives. So 7's the age of reason, 14's puberty. If we add another 7, that's 21. And that's young adulthood. That's we're allowed to drink now. Probably not a good thing, but I think, it should, well, it doesn't matter what I think. Who knows what's good or bad, right? 21, though, that's a big one. Teenage years are definitely behind you. You're now in the group of adults. And then another 7, that's the full return of Saturn. That's 4 quarters of Saturn. And 28 to 30, that's the full crystallization of your soul into your body. That's how the clairvoyants see it. This is where you're really an actual adult. This is the full crystallization of you into your adulthood. And a lot of stuff goes down at this time because what Saturn represents is based on where it is in your chart, based on what house and what sign. That shows where we have an instinctive restriction in that experience. So for you, it's in your 4th house of the home and family. That this can show that externally there's hard experiences there, but also internally there's a predisposition to be hard in that area, to be maybe have a lack of self-acceptance, or like you said, belonging is a big issue that comes up there. And so it's an internal and an external thing. And the Saturn return is going to bring those lessons hard in. So it's not always a rough patch. Like, I would just want people to know that it's case by case. Hopefully we can find gratitude for it being hard, because that means a lot of things were accelerated there for you. It was a good thing.
Yeah.
But my Saturn return was really easy. It was really fun. It was nice. It was great.
Nice.
Because I spent from 17 onward, since I was obsessed with astrology and self-development, meditation, all this stuff, I made friends with Saturn. I learned how to love Saturn.
Smart.
Because I'm Saturn ruled. So Saturn's on my ascendant, and I have Aquarius rising. And Aquarius is ruled by Saturn. So whatever the rising sign is, whatever planet rules that rising sign, the whole chart's ruled by that planet, So I'm Saturn ruled, so I'm like, okay, let me make friends with Saturn. And for me, it's ego. Saturn's sitting right there on my ego. It's
Interesting.
It's never been easy for me to have an ego or to accept myself. Crippling insecurity growing up. Just really, really hard on myself. No one's harder on me than I am. You too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you have Virgo rising. It's very analytical.
Who rules Virgo?
Mercury.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that when you say that? Like whatever the rising is, the ruler of that planet rules the chart.
Yeah. So if you have Aries rising, Mars rules Aries. So Mars is the head of the chart, the ruler of the chart.
Got it. Okay. So Mercury rules Virgo. So how does that show up?
So Mercury is the chart ruler. So then we want to so then we just understand that the theme of this life or this soul is about Mercury, all things Mercury. What are all things Mercury? Analytical, logical, communication, connection on all planes. Sometimes we communicate through touch or through words. Writing, speaking, researching.
I'll check out.
Yeah.
All checks out.
This is the life purpose.
Yeah.
So for me, it's Saturn. So it has a lot to do with discipline, structure, rules, laws, understanding those, responsibility, freedom. Also, believe it or not, I mean, we associate a lot of things that are ensnaring with Saturn, but freedom comes through responsibility.
I mean, discipline is freedom.
It is.
It really is.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting you're talking about Mercury and communication and mind and all this stuff. And like, that is most, like, I woke up this morning and my mind was like, bing, 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 just going off. And learning how to communicate with my body. So I'll just give a little tease into my world. So like, I wake up and I'm just, I wouldn't call it crippling anxiety, but just like wrought with some doubt and some fear and some despair and some all these things. And I'm just like, whoa. And I woke up and I'm human, and I grabbed my phone and I was like, oh, I have a Zoom call right now. I wake up at like 6:50 and at 7:00 I have a Zoom call, like for a workshop I joined. And so I'm on this Zoom call now, and I'm just like, oh my God, this is too much. So I like jump off the Zoom call and I'm like, okay, I need to meditate. Like I need to just like ground in. I know this is coming, this conversation with you. And so I'm like, okay. So I sit in my bed and I start like noticing, okay, like what parts are here? I was like, okay, there's definitely anxiety. There's definitely doubt. There's a little bit of despair. And I was like, okay, thank you. Like to all these protection mechanisms, all these protectors coming in, but what's behind all of this? And for whatever reason, and this has been a big part of my practice, I just start grounding into my body. So I'm just like, okay, like I'm here with you. What else is here? And it's like fear. And it's like, I don't want to feel scared right now. And I just have this conversation with myself, like, it's okay, buddy. Like, you're allowed to be scared. And I had a lot of evidence in my childhood where being scared is not okay. So I'm just like, it's okay, buddy. Like, you can be scared. And I just start fucking bawling, dude. Like, just,
that's
just like deep, like snot dripping out, just like crying of just like, I know, dude. Like, it's really scary right now. And I'm here with you, you know? And just to let that full cycle through and to learn the communication between mind, body, soul, spirit, life, whatever you want to call it, right? Perceiving the separation of it all and just coming back to the unification inside of me through the communication, right? And then my mind goes to like, how do I share this with the world? Like, I feel like everyone needs this.
Yeah.
You know, and then the limitations come in of like, okay, I could make content for decades on this stuff, but then the insecure part of me is like, no one wants to hear this. This isn't important. No one's gonna get this. It doesn't feel genuine to like put a fucking hook in here at the front of this thing. Like, okay, here we go. You know, it's like, you know, and the insecurity part coming in of like, is anybody gonna care if I'm just sitting in my bed talking to my phone? You know, and the beautiful construction of this fabricated reality video game of like, this thing is so well designed.
Yeah.
You know, like, how do I get this out there? It's like, well, I have to become a new version of myself, the one that's okay with the haters. And I don't even really get haters.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I definitely got stories that I can and I will, you know, in the virality world of it all. And sometimes it's crippling of just like, well, then we just won't do anything.
Right.
You know, and it's like, no, dude, this is the time. Like, some of the things that I experienced in myself, like even this morning, had I not given myself that 12 minutes, I don't know, 5, this would be a completely different conversation. I would have rushed to the gym to try and deal with myself. I might have caffeinated. And then I'd be sitting here like, God, maybe I can manipulate Christian to like give me the sauce because I just don't feel okay right now because I didn't let myself feel 2 hours ago.
Didn't let yourself receive. Yeah.
Right. You know.
And how good did it feel to cycle through all that crying too?
Oh my God. Like the level of rapport that I've built in my inner world with myself is like, it's so endearing now to being like, wow, like I can hear that call and listen, you know, and emote and not shame myself for crying and not worry about, oh, Kalyani's going to hear me. And it's just like, she'd probably be stoked. Like, oh my God, that's amazing. You know, like, cause this is the model I am for the world. It's like, it's okay, buddy. Like, feel that, you know, I'm right here with you. And a lot of times my work consists of me sitting with someone and being like, feel that. It's okay. Like, I'm right here with you. Like, I say these words almost daily, you know, and to be that anchor, because I didn't have one. Right. You know, the anchor was thrown overboard and I was like, you know, like, oh my God, I can't swim, you know, and now to being like, oh man, you know, like to, and life, I guess, you know, not to go on a tangent, but like to see that life pulled me to this island in the middle of the ocean to being like, oh, we're going to put you around the water, bro. Like, let it go. You know, I'm like, Okay, what else? What else, life? Use me however you want.
Right. There's so much pleasure on the other side of the feeling that we're resisting,
Yeah.
because the resistance is the pain.
Yes. Yes.
We don't see that though.
No.
Because at the core of our psyche is the eternal I am. So we tend to think that if I let myself feel the sadness, I'm going to be sad forever.
Right. It'll never end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if I let myself get angry, I'm just going to be angry for eternity.
Right.
There's this weird intuition, there's this feeling like if we give into our feelings, it will take over forever.
Right.
And we even have this when we're at work, that we can fall into this illusion of I'm here forever. And because our nature is eternal.
Yes.
So we just need to know that the only constant is change.
Yes.
This moment is for sure
Yeah.
going to end, and it'll never happen again.
Right.
So that reminder is the reminder to stay present. It sort of is the presence.
Yes.
It is its own reminder.
Yeah.
But, surrender is healing. Surrender leads to healing.
Yeah.
So we got to
Yeah.
really surrender into the moment or into the feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And just, what you did was so powerful because there was you being with the emotion, and you allowed that emotion to be there and allowed it to flow through you. But you weren't the emotion. You were the one comforting the self through the emotion.
Right.
That's an amazing thing about freedom, because we become our own parent. If we weren't parented perfectly, sucks. A lot of us weren't, though. And as an adult, though, you can fix all that.
Yeah.
Because God is in you. The eternal power of truth and healing is inside of you. You can reparent yourself now. It's just going to take a lot of courage, and it's going to take a lot of love.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
going to have to just love the parts of you that you were told weren't lovable or that you believe aren't lovable.
Right.
Take a leap of faith into knowing that you're lovable. It's all lovable.
Yeah. Oh, it's so true. And the word that's really there for me right now is courage. I was talking to my dad. I just got back from a trip. I was in South Korea with my mom and my dad, and my mom had never gone back in 50 years.
Wow.
And so we went back.
That must have been special.
Oh my God, dude. Like the level of healing that occurred on this trip, like I said, I feel like I jumped a quantum timeline. I'm in a different reality now. My container has upgraded. And one of the conversations I had, and this is part of the reason I love the work that I do, because I live in a reality where I'm like, oh, the conversation that you wish you could have heard or had, you can. And it might start by practicing inside of your mind in your imagination land and having the conversation with your mother or your father or that girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever, and practicing the vibrational frequency that emits out of you as you hear these sonic movements. And then one becomes available to actually experience them. And so I was sitting with my dad at dinner one night or somewhere, and I don't even remember where I was at. We might have been sitting at McDonald's. I have no idea. And he's like, one thing I really noticed about you, Scott, is like, I never, and my brother's a doctor, and so, he followed a traditional path. And he's like, Scott, I have no need to be courageous in my life. He's like, what you do requires you to be courageous every day. He's like, you have a level of courage that I've never seen in anyone around me. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like, to hear my dad say this.
That's amazing.
Like, it's like the cells of my body reorganize,
Wow.
like the water restructures around like I am courage,
Yep.
versus like I am scared. It's like, okay, I can be scared and do it anyway, and one of my favorite, I love languaging, and one of my favorite distinctions is the difference between scared and afraid. Scared is a natural bodily response as an animal entity, right? It's the ability to feel fear. Afraid, and this all comes from Latin, scarare means to feel fear, and affrare means to run away, right? To succumb to fear and to leave. And so I tell people, like, be scared. Just try not to be afraid, and understanding how this comes up in our reality. And it is scary to confront the pain of our past, because we have to feel it to move. You got to feel it to heal it. We hear all these things. These things are said because they're, there's some truth to them. And so, yeah, the courage and bravery it takes to stand as a chain breaker in these lineal patterns that we have, and being like, yeah, it's just not how we're going to do it anymore. We're just going to try something else, And one of my biggest ones that I stand for now is a level of abundance that my family has never understood. And it's interesting because in a way, I'm the only one out of the boat now. My brother is a doctor. He's a millionaire. My parents are millionaires. And I'm like, wait, how did I not get this buck? And it's just like, oh, I've just been evolving out of the trauma patterns that had I done that, I would still be addicted to weed and alcohol and sex and all these things that some of the other people in my family might still be addicted to, you know? And so to do this in a different vibrational frequency, it's very unfamiliar.
Yeah.
It's very unfamiliar, you know, but
That's purpose.
and
Our
that,
purpose here is to be at the cutting edge in a moment that's never happened,
yeah,
to traverse the unknown. Yeah.
yeah, that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like, you know?
Yeah, that was beautiful. Your cells rearranged
Oh yeah. Like just, and
and the languaging.
yeah, just seeing like this, we are in a reality where we can create what we want. You know, we are powerful beings. And like that's been the thing for me too, is like to learn how to see myself as powerful, you know, and using tools like astrology to help me do that.
Yeah.
Of like, oh, I'm not a victim because Mercury's in Gatorade, you know, like it's Jupiter's in the microwave, everybody. And now we just throw it all away. And it's like, no. Like, and this actually, this is something that we're talking about because I hear people that were like, you know, they'll say things like, well, I'm just a Gemini. It's because I'm this. And I'm like, I don't know if I agree with that languaging. I understand the predisposition to categorize because I do it as well, maybe in a more empowering way. But what is your take on when people victimize themselves based upon astrological placements?
Oh, yeah, it's tragic. It's so sad. But this is the crux of the whole thing. This is what it all comes down to. It's not that mindset is everything. It's more that identity is everything. So it's I am a person who can handle anything. You know, that's the identity from which grows this mindset. That a Mercury retrograde will happen, and you'll say, "Challenge accepted. Communication is going to be difficult this week. Let's communicate then." There's those people, and then there's the people who say, "Oh, Mercury's retrograde. Better avoid communication."
Right.
You know, I better not. I better stay home. I better
Technology's screwed, so just throw your phone away.
Yeah, it's like no. If it's more difficult, do it more.
Right.
Because there's more XP. You get more experience.
Yes. I love the video game analogy.
Yeah, you level up quicker.
Yes.
It's like you don't want to level up. Like, you know, it's like you're going to avoid the hard levels where the best rewards are.
Right.
Okay. You know where that's coming from? A mindset, which is coming from an identity that you can't handle it. You can't do it. So we're created in the image of God. That means we're creators. That means any time you're out of creator mode and you're in effect mode, you're in creation, you are going to feel poopy because the poopy feeling is revealing to you the contrast that you're out of the truth.
Yes.
So here's a really good hack for people. Love it. If you feel like crap, love that feeling of crap.
Yeah.
Literally don't try to escape the crap feeling. Don't go, oh, Christian said I'm not in the truth, so try to get back in the truth. Don't try. Because watch, this is me trying to take a drink. I tried.
Right. Right.
So that's trying. Don't ever try.
Yeah.
Love where you're at. So if you feel like crap and you're heartbroken and you know that it's coming from a place of, I can't have love, and this happens to me all the time, and blah, blah, blah. Be in that and let that really bad feeling in your tummy just be there and just love yourself through it like you were saying and just say, it's okay. I'm here. And really give yourself that love that you needed at one point, but it wasn't there. It wasn't available. It's available now.
Yeah.
If you allow it to be there. And if you love where you're at, that power of love is the thing that causes us to change and grow. So I'm a firm believer, Scott, that we can't change ourselves. And that might sound disempowering at first, but if you follow through with it, it's freeing. Because if you're trying to change yourself, that means a part of you believes that you need to change.
Right. Something wrong.
Yeah, something's wrong. Something's broken.
Right.
Is that love? No. So maybe a really good hack is just love and accept whatever's occurring inside yourself. And that love will carry you to your true self, because your true self is love. God is love. And, you know, my story is I was a very angry young man, Mars and Libra, right? And I always hated that because so Libra is other people and anger is Mars. So I had a lot of anger towards other people. And it started with my father, and he's a great guy, by the way. He's an amazing man. But growing up, he was a bit emotional and at times impatient. And so when he would get impatient with me, I remember one of the first thoughts I ever thought. I have memories when I was a baby. I remember looking up at my mom, and she's dangling plastic keys in front of my head. And I'm just looking at her like, wow, this goddess, you know? I remember pre-verbal existence. So one of the first verbal phenomenons that happened up here was, why can't dad love me and mom enough to just be patient with us? And it was a very angry thought. And, you know, that thought kind of dominated my life. And I spent a lot of my life trying to figure out why I wasn't lovable enough, you know? And that's not a thing that can be figured out. It's coming from a false premise. It's coming from a false identity.
Right.
So I tried to journal my anger away. I tried to meditate my anger away. I tried to yoga my anger away.
Right.
I tried to sex my anger away. You know, I could not get rid of this conflict. And the more I tried, the more powerless I felt.
Yeah.
Because that was my ego trying to fix me.
Yeah.
So the main message I have for people here is let go and forgive.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw that I was just like my dad, I was angry and volatile just like him.
Right.
And the reason I was is because I judged him.
Yeah.
So as you judge, you shall be judged. Meaning however you're judging other people is how you're judging yourself, and you're living under that same judgment.
Yep.
I saw that I was the biggest hypocrite ever. And I thought, how amazing. This is so amazing. I'm just like him because I judged him. So I went and I finally found this teacher who told me that you need to stop journaling your forgiveness and go and forgive.
Yeah.
The Bible says, if you go and forgive, I'll forgive you, and I'll draw you into the kingdom of heaven within you. Because no one's allowed into that kingdom who's not forgiving. Heaven is a place of forgiveness.
Yeah.
Where it's not about what we have done.
Yeah.
It's about who we are.
Right. Correct.
And so if we want to get into that space, we got to drop the anger. But the first step is to see you can't drop it. You can't let go of the resentment. And the reason a lot of people don't forgive is because they don't feel like they have forgiven yet. But that's like saying, I don't have the muscles, so I can't go to the gym yet.
Right.
It's like you're going to get the muscles when you go to the gym. You're going to feel the freedom after you forgive.
Yep.
But as you go to forgive, you're going to feel the fear and the doubt and the worry and the anxiety. You're going to be up in your head. You're going to be thinking, I don't want to bug them with this, or what will they think, or they might not understand. All that's just thoughts. Just let those thoughts go. You see in your heart you need to forgive if you are ready to be free. So go and forgive. And here's how we forgive. This is the piece I was missing that my teacher taught me. Because a lot of us think forgiveness is, hey, Scott, you were a jerk, but I forgive you. You're welcome. You know,
Righteousness.
yeah, like it's for you.
Right.
And it's not. Forgiveness is for the one who's forgiving.
Yeah.
So really how we do it is, hey, Scott, maybe you were a jerk, but I'm wrong for hating you for that. I'm wrong for resenting you. I forgive you. Forgiveness is, I'm wrong. I was wrong for hating you for your wrong. Because whatever that your parents did to you that you didn't like, it was wrong. It's not saying it was right.
Right.
You deserved love. They just didn't have it. If they had the love, they would have shown it, right? If they had it, they would have given it to you. They
Sure,
didn't,
of course.
they didn't have it
Right.
for whatever reason. And the reason being, it was what their parents passed on to them.
Of course.
So if you zoom out, it's this big karmic chain. And who knows where it started. Because the Tibetans have a saying, at the beginning, I think it's the Tibetans, at the beginning of a journey, there's blame for others. In the middle of the journey, there's blame for self. But at the end of the journey, there is no blame. And so life's not about blame or who's guilty.
Right.
It's just about accountability. And accountability is just as much about what you're accountable for as it is about what you're not accountable for. And there's immense freedom in that. And so anything anybody does, they're accountable for that. And we don't have to worry about punishment. that's taken care of by cosmic law.
Right.
So we got to pray for people who are judging us, who are hating us, because they're judging because they're in conflict. They're in hell.
Yeah.
That's the reason I was judging.
Yeah.
So I went to my dad and I said, hey, Dad, I just realized I'm just like you because I judged you. And I'm so sorry for being angry with you because I see now that you couldn't help it because I see how I can't help it.
Yeah.
I just get mad. I don't choose to get mad. It just happens. So I realized that's what was happening for you too. So I'm sorry for getting angry with you. I forgive you.
Wow.
And from that day forward, Scott, I was 26. So I think that was 2019 when I did this. 2020, 2019. Yeah, 2019, 2018, somewhere around there. From that day forward, that was the last day I ever felt anger. I'm telling you, and I used to believe in God. Now I know God is real.
Big difference.
Yeah,
Big difference.
because that anger I lived with forever. I didn't think you could live without it. I didn't think you could really have peace in this life. I thought the nature of this life was, a little bit of strife.
Yeah.
And I have perfect peace because I forgave. So I forgave my mom and my dad. I forgave them both. And they were like, cool. They took it nicely, but that wasn't the point. It was for me. It was to get that off my chest. When you apologize for the resentment, it puts the light on and it exposes it.
Yeah.
Because we live in a spiritual world and there are spiritual entities and things we can't see. And in the physical realm, there's parasites. They'll control your mind to cause you to crave sugar. But it's not you craving sugar. It's the parasite that needs you to eat the sugar so it can keep living in you.
Yeah.
In the same way, we could think of hate as a parasite. A person who has hate, they have this parasite. And the parasite wants to spread itself. So one of the ways it does that is hating people, try to get you to hate them. And as soon as you hate them for the thing they did to you, that hate has spread onto you. So it spreads like this. So we can fight this fire with water, which is love, which is forgiveness. A lot of us are trying to fight fire with fire. We're trying to fight anger with more anger.
Yeah.
And it's just not going to work.
Yeah.
Our world's going to change through love, through forgiveness. But Christian, if I forgive, people are going to walk all over me. I get that. That's a false perception about
Right.
love, though.
Right.
Because love doesn't let anything walk over it. Love holds strong boundaries.
Right.
Because you love yourself enough to not let yourself get walked over.
Right.
You're loving yourself enough to forgive so that you can overcome, so you can have this transcendent capacity.
Yeah.
And love will cause you to see. So after I forgave my dad, now I could see things that I couldn't see before.
Right.
And the next day we're sitting on the porch, me and my dad, and he's talking and I'm noticing his voice is like nails on a chalkboard. Sorry, Dad, in my body, and I'm becoming aware of this and I'm like, why? And I can see the thoughts that are connected to this bodily experience of, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Why is he talking so much? Very judgmental thoughts. And I can see them and I'm like, those are not me. And I'm like, wow. So because I can see them, now I can let them go. And now I can just be present and enjoy this time with my dad on the porch.
Yeah.
And love lets us see. So as you forgive and love takes over, love will work on you in a way that you couldn't work on you before. And love will automatically cause you to say the right thing at the right time, to do the right thing through faith in this power. And through seeing, you'll be able to see 2 steps ahead. Whereas before you couldn't see if this relationship was going to be toxic or if they were a narcissist. You just couldn't even see that, who they were.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't see what you're getting into.
Right.
But love will cause you to see. And then through seeing, you'll go, oh, that's a narcissist. Better not date them.
Right.
Whereas before you didn't even have the free will to choose that because you were doing the best you could.
Right.
And so we're all doing our best. This is the most divine realization I've ever had in my life. As much as astrology has helped me and meditation and all this stuff, forgiveness is the thing that transformed me from within, Scott. So it's the thing I have to talk about. Because if you see that you need to forgive, go forgive. Don't waste another day. Don't wait. Tomorrow's not promised. Forgive them because they know not what they do. If they knew, they wouldn't do it.
Right.
If we really knew.
If you really get that statement.
Yeah. The karma we're going to accrue, how much it's going to come back on us, the karma that's happening and rippling out throughout the world. If we knew, nobody would.
We would drop it instant.
Yeah, nobody would do an evil act.
Yeah.
It's just that ignorance is the root of all evil. So that's why we got to forgive. And
I love that.
when we forgive, I swear, we upgrade. We upgrade in a way that the mind can't comprehend.
Yes.
Because it's not logical to forgive.
Right.
It doesn't make sense.
No. And it belongs to the body, and the body is what houses the mind houses the body inside of it. Yet, we see it as like the mind is the brain or whatnot. But yeah, like this, the quote that came through when you were sharing all this was, forgiveness is giving yourself the apology you'll never get. Right.
Yes.
And understanding that
it is. Wow. Because I said, I'm sorry for being angry with you, Dad. That's
right.
the thing I wanted.
That's what you wanted to hear.
Right.
You gave that to yourself.
Yeah.
And in so doing, you freed yourself from the prison that you thought he had the key to.
Exactly.
Right. And the most beautiful part about this is in that moment, you actually got the dad that you wished for.
Yep.
He didn't change.
Yep.
You just allowed him to be him and accepted that was what your soul called in. What you said earlier about change, like we're not in the game of change. We're in the game of acceptance.
Yes.
The quote on my website is only when I accept myself fully, then I can change. Yeah. And the change is not actually me becoming something else. It's me being okay with who I already am.
That's right.
And then we provide that to those around us.
Yep. You become the thing you've been searching for. You become what you want.
Exactly.
But it's a sacrifice. You have to sacrifice
100%.
the thing.
You got to fall on the sword.
Yeah. Because that resentment, you get a rush from that.
Yes. Yeah. There's a bodily sensation that comes along with it. And, while we were taking a break, I made a story this morning and said, what is the feeling you're most unwilling to feel? And someone said anger, and it reminded, came in this conversation about, for a long time, I was very angry at my parents, at my brother, and to understand through conversations with my dad about like, what was it like for your dad to die and your son to die in the same month, And my other brother is already 2 at this point. So now he's in this field, God, what must it have been like for him? And then I show up as miracle a year and a half later. You can get out, bro. Like, and he made it very clear that I was not supposed to be there. Mm-hmm. And I took that on, and it wasn't until I was like, I think I was 14 when I found out I had an older brother that didn't live. And for the next 15 years, I had it that I was a mistake, that he should have lived and I shouldn't have been born, which is interesting because it's actually the literal opposite, that he died so I could be born. Mm-hmm. He was, not to say he's a mistake, but like, that's just the way the cards played out, Mm-hmm. And so the amount of working through that I had to do in that just literal vocal narrative and an identity structure that was formed based upon a misidentified experience, mm-hmm. And then now as an adult to have these conversations with my dad and being like, hey, like I'll share another conversation from Korea because it was so incredibly profound. I was talking about this breakup that I was struggling with and how I was like, yeah, I dated this woman because I needed someone to care for me because no one did when I was little. I was dating the mother I never got. I was dating the soothing and the nurturing and the love that I never experienced. Yeah. And I was upset about having to do that. And I said, because what I went through as a child wasn't fair. And I'm crying. We're in a bar, a speakeasy in this basement in Seoul, South Korea. And like a TV show, which I do think Earth is a television show for aliens. It's a whole nother story. And all of the aliens are around the TV show, like watching this. And I start talking about this and I start crying in this bar. And I'm not joking, Christian. Every person in the bar got up and left. And it was like the lights just went. And it's just me and my dad talking. And I'm crying about this. And I'm like, it was so incredibly unfair what I had to go through. And now I've been in therapy for years just so I can stay alive. And now my dad's crying. And my dad's like, Scott, it wasn't fair. And I'm so sorry you had to go through that. And I'm just like, and this is what struck me and it allowed for the cellular upgrade in my body is he looks at me and he goes, Scott, I just want you to know that there are so many people in this world that care about you deeply. And I'm like, that's something I've hoped to hear. It's something I've worked to reconcile for most of my life, thinking people don't care about me. Mm-hmm. And in that moment I got like, people care about me, and it's not because of who I am. It's not because of what I do for them. It's not because of what I provide. It's not because of my services and how good I am as a coach. It's because of who I am. Just me existing
Yeah.
is enough of a reason to care.
Yeah. Yep.
And the breath that came after that was like, oh my God, like that type of, that's what I stand for in this world.
Yeah.
Is that we get to feel whole and complete, that this is heaven. It's just not what we were sold, like the marketing campaign for heaven was off. But I'm pretty sure this is heaven,
Yeah.
and the forces and powers that be are trying everything they can do to be like, no.
Mm-hmm.
It's a place you go, and this place isn't it. This is hell. And it's like, only if you think it.
Yeah. Earth is an interesting middle ground. It's an anagram for heart.
Right.
E-A-R-T-H. Because in our hearts, it can be hell or heaven.
Right.
Earth can be hell or heaven quite equally.
Yes.
That we have an abundance of resources, more than enough. We have infinite, but we could also like do a lot of bad stuff here. So it's so amazing how it could be either or. Like it's almost like purgatory, or not quite purgatory, but it's a weird middle ground here. It's up to us.
Yes.
It sort of is like, wow, what a perfect TV show set this would be for intergalactic TV.
Yes.
Like, oh, let's give them the tools for both heaven and hell. Let's see what they make.
Right.
And it's each individual's choice. And there's 7 billion individuals. What a movie. Let's see.
I say I have the most interesting TV show on earth.
This is so interesting.
Yeah.
But I love what you said, because just the fact that you exist, this is the realization, the reflection we all need to come to, is that, oh, I am. Oh, that means I'm loved because God made you because he loves you. God loves you. That's why he made you. It's like you're here, and you need to recognize that you being here means you're supposed to be here. It means you should be here. It means you're worthy.
Right.
You have a desire. That desire is the evidence that you can have, that you're gonna have it.
Totally. Right. Like I was sitting here thinking, like, the biggest conspiracy theory is like that I like, or how do I say this? Like the thought that we could be unlovable or not enough or whatever. And it's like, okay, the idea of being unlovable, like my heart, your heart, our hearts beat 100,000 times a day, and have never once been like, I'm out.
Yeah.
And now someone might be like, well, I got a pacemaker or whatever, and be like, okay, fine, your lungs breathe 20,000 times a day, never stop. The food you eat becomes the cells of your body. It's like, how deep do you want to go to fight that? No, I will tell you I'm not lovable, and this is my evidence. Okay, well, let's actually feel into that.
Yeah.
Deep emotional release.
Right.
Or I'm not enough, and it's like you have a galaxy worth of stardust, of cells, of bacteria, of viruses, of fungi, like all these things inside of your body. So what part of you's not enough? Where does that live? Oh, it's like lodged right under here. Okay, let's feel that deep emotional release.
Yes.
Okay, so now what? Now what are you going to fight me on? Maybe I won't. Maybe I'm just going to go play outside.
Exactly. Yeah. Our worldviews matter, because that's how our mental body gets sick, is by believing a lie.
Yes.
That's why it's better to just sort of leave things that I don't know if you don't know yet. But one thing you do know for sure is that this is a self-intelligent, regulating, organizing system we live in. There's intelligence. Like you said, the food turns into the cells in your body. That's super smart. And it's an automatic intelligence. But if you believe that this was an accident,
Right.
nothing farted and created the Big Bang,
Right.
nothing exploded,
Right.
that means that at the core of your worldview, there's madness.
Yeah.
And so don't be surprised if you spiral into madness yourself.
Totally.
But if at the core of you is this intelligent, loving creator, which created creation, and you have that same image in you, then that is what will follow.
Yeah.
It's done according to your belief. The Bhagavad Gita says, you become what you believe, something like that. The Bible says it's done according to your belief. The first step in being able to create a life that we want is to believe that we can do that. If you don't believe you can create your life, you're not going to do it. You can't do it.
Right.
If you don't believe you can drive a car, you're never going to drive a car.
Right.
You learning to drive a car began with the belief that you could do it.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to believe.
Yes.
You have to believe in yourself because only you can do that. I can't do that for you.
Mm-hmm.
I can do my best to convince you and all that, but
Right.
if I convince you into it, did you believe it
Right.
for yourself?
And I love what you said earlier about like the shift. And this is such a powerful paradigm shift for people to really comprehend is you said, like, I believed in God and now I know God, right? Like, I believe I can drive a car. No, I know how to drive a car, right?
Yeah.
Like, I believe I'm good enough versus I am good enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
The transcendence to the gnosis, right? And just to the point about the disease and how believing these lies creates the disharmony in our bodies that causes sickness. I thought about this recently of the word diagnosis, dying to your gnosis.
Wow, I like that. Yeah, because I've always hated the word diagnosis.
Right?
What is this? Your identity? That's
Like,
not
you're
you.
telling me what I am, and you are this, and it's like, no, like
Yeah.
I don't need your diagnosis.
No.
I know,
Yeah.
right? And the languaging, right? The spells are in, right? In the beginning, there was the Word, and the Word was God, right? We live in a vibrational universe, and the words we use create our reality.
They matter.
Oh yeah,
They turn into matter.
that was at a very foundational level. Are you familiar with Peter Crone?
Uh-uh.
Oh my God, I gotta turn you onto this. You're gonna love this. He's a coach, and he's like Tony Robbins level meets like all the metaphysical, Eckhart Tolle, like just all of that world, like
go.
Advaita Vedanta, like he's on a different level. And the self-limiting constraint that I was oblivious to that he helped me understand and shed was I don't matter. I had all the evidence in the world that I didn't matter. And that was the prison that I lived inside of. So no matter how hard I tried, it didn't matter. No matter how much I tried to love, no matter how much I worked, all of it didn't matter. And when I saw this prison was running my life, and then therefore, like a veil took it off, it was like, time to move to Hawaii. Like just my whole life changed.
Wow. Yeah.
It's and I think all these books are saying the same things. Like I can't wait to get, I have obviously from like the Upanishads. I can't actually know. I don't remember where this quote comes from. If it's a Gita or if it's in the Vedas. I think it's in the Vedas. But I also have Hanuman, from Hinduism, and I want to get a Bible quote. I was originally, this is the most Scorpio thing in the world, to get Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani. My God, why have you forsaken me?
Yeah.
When Jesus realizes he's God, but he has to die to become it. I'm like,
yeah.
Or I could be, be still and know that I am God. I don't know if that's the quote I need for my body. But the other one for the Quran is be still and know that I am with you. Fear not and know that I am with you. Like I believe all the books have it, I think they're all saying the same thing. And then man got in the way and made a business out of it. It was like, okay, we're going to put this in the block between you and God. And it's like, good luck, bro.
Oh yeah.
I am God, like I am the Messiah for myself.
Yeah.
I'm not your Messiah, and I'm pretty sure Jesus wasn't saying I'm it, which is the weird, interesting New Age spirituality that Jesus is God. And it's like, well, Jesus was talking about God. I don't think even Jesus said he was God. And if he did, I don't think he meant he is the God. He is of God, and yeah, just this interesting New Age spirituality and religion and the new separation. And all of a sudden, Justin Bieber loves God. I'm like, do you? You don't look like you love God. Like, you look like you want to love God. But yeah, it's an interesting thing, to see how many people are coming back around to some divine force.
Yeah.
And I think it's really well timed. And maybe that is part of the intelligence of this life, A lot of people are like, oh my God, it's so dark right now. I'm like, yeah, but it's darkest before the dawn.
Yeah.
The contraction happens before the expansion. That's the Big Bang. So maybe this is the advent of the Great Awakening. It wasn't, it's not out to get us, and choosing to believe that is my narrative has been a very courageous act.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. I personally believe that Yeshua or Jesus is, I believe he claimed to be God. I think there's different passages where he said like,
I'm
I
not a
and the
scholar.
Father are one. And there's things he say that apply to all of us too, because like it's not I who do the work, but the Father in me. I resonate with that a lot. So yeah, and I think there's a lot of like even historical evidence. Like if this Jesus character, like we want to say he was just one of the saints, but if he wasn't God in the flesh, then he's a liar, and he's actually one of the worst people ever, because he was rocking around lying. And the thing about forgiveness and redemption, this is even revealed through astrology. At the solstice, the Son of God goes into a tomb for 3 days. So it's at the lowest southernmost point in Capricorn. For 3 days, it doesn't move down there. And the old belief system, and maybe this was actually the reality, or maybe it was just our consciousness projecting this through belief, was that we had to sacrifice. We had to kill animals and create sacrifices to God so that life could come back, so that we could be redeemed.
Yeah.
And now the Christ thing that happened is now it's automatic. It's paid for us. So all we have to do is forgive as we're already forgiven, because we're already forgiven. That's the truth. And then we're living in the lie as long as we don't forgive.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then because of the sacrifice, this debt that was paid for us, we have legal access into heaven. But there are still battles fought legally. And so there's principalities and dark forces that are using the legality or the law to try and keep us stuck. And they're using evidence for this all the time. There's this amazing guy. He talks about the courts of heaven a lot, and how spirituality it's all legality. And when you just come in through and you just pierce through with the truth, you say, no, I have legal access through this sacrifice that was made. There's this incredible just opening that happens. And I've seen how Yeshua has the authority. This person, which is God, has opened a way for us. Everyone needs to come to this, themselves. I'm not trying to push any particular religion.
Of course, yeah.
But there is this amazing story of redemption that's revealed through the story of Christ, and it's shown through nature now.
Yeah.
The sun's going to automatically return. Life is automatically growing now for us. We don't need to force our way into heaven or sacrifice our way into it. We just need to let go and realize it's already ours.
Yeah.
And so, it's this amazing thing. But I am on Team Jesus.
Great. Same.
I think that the Christians are really lost. Sorry, Christians. I think that
I also agree.
they're some of the
100%.
most egotistical, projecting sorts of people. And my name's Christian, and I'm an astrologer, so it's like I'm right in the middle of both.
Yeah.
I get flack from New Agers, I get flack from Christians.
Yeah.
Oh, you're demonic, and then they say, oh, you're too religious. So it's like I'm the bridge. I'm here to be the bridge.
I love that.
Astrology isn't pagan.
Yeah.
It's just not.
Right.
It's just learning how to understand God's clock.
Right.
Because he's got set cycles, and all the things in heaven move according to his will.
Yeah.
So if we pay attention to that, because we can't, that's not man-made. We can't manipulate any of that.
Right.
So that's why I love it so much.
Yeah. I love that. And now it's, how do I want to say this? Like there is what we'll call dark forces at play to like try and get us away from the word of God, and for some, they spell God differently. And I also believe in a God that is so big that he doesn't care how you spell his name.
Oh yeah. Spell beyond words.
Like in Islam, it's like there are 99 names of God. You are the 100th is nameless and the 101st is you. Like I love that, and to understand how the God the God of all, what is it? The God of all is accepting of any. Like our measly human mouths can't make the sound of God. And we have ideas of what it might sound like. It could sound like Om or Amen or whatever, right? Like, Amen, all these things, right? And at the end of the day, the symphony of life that is playing out in the orchestra of this experience as the organism Earth that we are all part of is period.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and
Even one of the highest levels of rapport that we can establish, human to human, is this vibration of honoring God within each of us.
yeah,
I honor God in you. I see,
right.
and it's so fun to interact with people from that place too. Of like, oh wow, here's God.
Mm-hmm.
What's he
Right.
going to reveal to me today?
Right.
Or
This
she
is what I get to see. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's
people can feel that. They're like, whoa,
right.
why is it, you know,
Right.
what is this?
And it makes sense in that aspect of the disharmony of truth of like, you know, mirror work of like, I don't like what you see. I don't like what I see. And it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, tell me about that.
Yeah.
Tell me about that, you know? And yeah,
But we got to wrestle with this because it's worth wrestling with.
Yeah.
And people who say, well, why is there so much evil in the world? How could God allow that? In the scriptures, it does say God created evil. But does that make God evil? I
Right.
mean, God made all of us creators.
right.
So I think with our freedom to create, we created evil because we wanted a really good movie here.
Right.
There's no good movie without a bad guy
Right.
or a bad girl, you know, a villain. So evil exists, yeah, but it's not anything love can't handle.
Right. Right.
Because love it includes and transcends.
Yeah.
On the microscopic level, how organisms evolve and grow, it's through inclusion and then transcendence.
Yeah.
And that's what love does. And so love has already overcome it. It's already won. It's just we created this projection of evil, you know, and we're the ones sustaining it. Through, if we take responsibility for it, we could probably clear it out pretty quick on the earth.
100%.
We see greed and we see evil, but if we see it, that means it's in your psyche.
Right.
That's the only way you could see it.
Right.
So realize it's in you. The greed in the world and the billionaire and the tech corporations, the greed in you. If you heal and embrace it and love it and learn to transcend it in your own sphere of life, you gotta not doubt that it'll get better in the world.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah.
100%. I love that this became a podcast about love disguised as an astrology and instructional. I mean, it's the truth, right? Like, not that that's what happened, but like the truth is this is about love.
Yeah.
And astrology is the gamer walkthrough,
Yes.
the IGN of just like, okay, you know, like here's the hacks, right? Like pay attention to these things. And
Astrology is only helpful to the degree that it guides you to know yourself better.
right.
It's not helpful to try and figure out what's going to happen tomorrow
Right.
because tomorrow might not even be a thing.
Right. Right. Oh, like I need to get the lottery numbers. Like that ain't what this is about.
No.
Isn't that what it's
Yeah,
about?
exactly.
You know? No. Is there anything else that you would like to leave with the listenership about specifically? I have a couple like last questions, but like in regards to astrology or where to start, apps. We'll definitely talk on how to get hold of you for those type of things. But anything in regards to just making the listenership more adept in their own astrological adventure.
Yeah, the first thing I'd recommend is a book.
Okay.
A book called Esoteric Astrology
Okay.
by Alan Leo.
Okay.
This was my Bible in a way for many years. The Bible is my Bible.
Sure.
I think it's one of the greatest books ever written. But this was my astrology Bible. I really like this book. I like the way it's put together. Esoteric Astrology by Alan Leo. Another one I recommend is Spiritual Astrology by Master E.K. That's an incredibly mind-blowing book. And it talks about how, like, a mother has to control her child until the child reaches a certain stage until the child has enough awareness to not just put whatever in its mouth. And in the same way, Mother Nature is controlling us too through moods and appetites. And it's the moon. The moon's kind of he says the moon has a hold over our consciousness, but through meditation and fasting and looking within and growing our awareness, we actually are able to dislocate our psyche from these planetary controls. So I just kind of want to encourage the listener to know that as you prioritize your freedom and your ability to love your world and yourself, you're not bound by the chart in the same way anymore.
Cool.
So yeah, I'd recommend those books for you to get a little a good view into what astrology really is about.
Okay.
Uh,
Cool.
yeah. And
Spiritual
also,
astrology and esoteric astrology.
yeah.
Great.
And then tune into my Instagram because I'll go live weeklies. It's just my name, Christian Klausner.
Yeah.
So yeah, tune on Instagram there to learn more and to
Yeah.
stay connected with me too.
Great. Yeah. No, that's definitely recommend that. I got to jump on your live yesterday, which was a lot of fun.
Awesome.
And yeah, two last questions. If Christian had a message for the world, what would it be?
To love yourself
Mm.
until you understand what love is.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
And
Key part.
yeah, and just really prioritize your spirit,
Mm.
your connection to God.
Mm.
God is OP. God is overpowered.
Mm.
The belief in God is OP. It'll make you OP.
Mm.
The highest level of confidence is to walk into a room believing that God sent you there.
Mm.
And because you were sent
I
here.
love that.
You were sent here for a reason, a really
Yeah.
specific purpose that only you could fulfill.
100%.
And, I always say, I'm not God, but God is me.
Mm-hmm. I love that.
God is closer to you than your breath.
Yep.
And if you prioritize spirit, it goes fire, air, water, earth,
Mm-hmm.
as in levels of density.
Mm-hmm.
So that corresponds to spirit, mind, emotions, body.
I love that.
If you prioritize your spiritual health,
Yeah.
it will work on your mind.
Yeah.
You won't have to choose the right thoughts. The thoughts will come to you.
Yeah.
If your mind is right, your emotions will be right. You'll generally have steadier moods.
Right.
And then your body will reflect that too.
Yeah.
But God is so good, He made it both ways. So you can work from the bottom up as well.
Totally.
Create a good posture. That'll generate good moods.
Mhm.
Good moods will spawn good thoughts.
Yep.
And good thoughts will help you have the right spirit.
Yeah.
But think into the spirit. What is the spirit of the version of you that has everything you want? What's that
Yeah.
spirit like? Get into that spirit. That will get you into the mind, which will get you into the emotions, which will get you into the body.
Yeah.
But man, don't believe, what this world tries to push on you, that you need a physical solution for a physical symptom.
Yeah.
The physical is just the world of effects.
Yeah.
It's always changing.
Yep.
The cause is the internal.
Mm-hmm.
And
100%.
you're the change. Once you decide you're the change.
Yes.
Once you become the cause within you, the affirmation you're looking for, the validation you're seeking, you become that.
Yeah.
And just take one step at a time,
Mhm.
one step and love where you're at.
Yes.
It's a journey. It's not a destination.
Yes.
That's the message.
I love that. I love that. So many nuggets in there. And just for anybody who wants to be like, Christian is Christian, like what you said in that aspect of, what was it? You were talking about something with the densities. You said something that was like straight out of Hinduism in yogic philosophy. And I wish I could remember what it was now. It's since evaded me. But this reminder that these are all the same stories.
Yeah.
Like Jesus was a yogi, like he trained with the mystics in India. Like this is part of where he left to, like to understand these things, this is one massive story. We are the greatest love story ever told. That is my stand. I'm the greatest love story ever told. This life is the greatest love story ever told. And it includes me. Right. And then, so then my last question to leave with is, what does it mean to be human?
Amazing question. I think it means to be the fusion of what is seeing and what is seen. So I often think of like Mars and Venus. So Mars is the red in the blood, the iron, the hemoglobin, the artillery system, arteries, artillery even is connected to a word of war. And then Venus is the blue, the Venus system. And this blue and red that's how we used to be able to see 3D movies, because you had a blue and red. And so it's creating this 3D world, but the Mars, the red, is the animal, and the Venus is the part that can love the animal. And animals change when you love them. You can turn wolves into dogs, puppies. You can turn lions into kitty cats. And then we grow this bond. So this bond is happening in you when you love what you see. So you see self, love self. But the seer is the love. And that's to me what it means to be human, like hue, like light, and then man, earth is this light on this earthy substance. It's this fusion of spirit and matter. We're part animal, part divine, part God, part goddess. And I think we're learning what that means. I think that's what it means to be human, is to learn what that means.
Yeah. I love that. Amazing. Well, as Christian mentioned, you can find him on Instagram at his name. We'll drop it in the comments in the description. Christian Klausner.
Yeah, and please check out christianklausner.bio. I have free gifts there. And you can book a reading with me through that link as well.
Yeah, I saw a lot of different tools, astrology walkthroughs, and just ways to dive in deeper. So yeah, everybody check that out as well. And thank you for taking your time and being part of the show. I appreciate you coming and sharing your wisdom and your journey and all the nuggets.
This was a pleasure, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're very welcome, man. And thanks to the listeners for your time and attention and presence. And until the next one, aloha.